Hey guys, everybody, and welcome back. This is TV Hub Official 1, and now, as I promised you, it is the NXT Takeover or Evolution pay-per-view for you guys. I hope you enjoy this video and share with your friends and comment, like below. And I guess there's no further thing to say but begin the video. So I'm so excited to share this with you. My sort of review and take on this. As you know, every week I do my NXT reviews on the normal shows, and now here we are with NXT pay-per-view Takeover, another takeover. This time our Evolution, which is also Revolution, and it's showing the NXT evolving, these new superstars that are on the rise. So let's go into the pay-per-view and talk about what we got on the card. So a lot of this has been sort of preempted, pre-booked, and as usual, a few weeks in advance, and I've talked about it on all my NXT videos, which you can check out below, or just go into my channel and you can check them out in the playlist that is readily available. I think I've done the last like seven episodes, 7 weeks. So I know a lot of sort of matches being booked up here, but you begin with a pre-show, which I actually happily watch, which is half an hour, and then the full show is 2 hours. So it's 2.5 hours of NXT I get to watch in one day. It's just amazing to see it all in glorious pay-per-view format. So we began with a sort of pre-show. I'm just going to go through it, basically all the promos for the different matches that we're going to get, outlining, the main event between Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville, Charlotte and Sasha Banks, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami versus the Ascension, the Lucha Dragons versus the Vaudevillains, and another match which I'll get to in a minute after I get through sort of what happened on the pre-show. So we get all that sort of stuff with the likes of Alex Riley, Tensai, I can't remember his real name, Albert, Jason Albert, and of course, can't remember her name out of my head. Anyway, so yeah, we're joined by all three commentators, and we get to see a special appearance by Corey Graves, who announces, unfortunately guys, that he is retired from the ring. I was so shocked to see this, as probably the likes of all of you guys were if you've seen the show. But anyway, Corey Graves, this guy who's been working his way through NXT and hasn't been seen on TV for a while, as pointed out by the commentator there, who was interviewing him. So that's so unusual that he ended up not getting to the main roster, really. He's actually in the new WWE 2K15, which I'll be playing later on. Spoilers. I'm not going to play today, sorry. I haven't got the game yet, but anyway, I will be getting it at Christmas time. So Corey Graves, this guy who's so amazing and previous NXT champion, I think. Anyway, he's battled all the likes in the NXT world, and here he is to announce his retirement from the ring officially. Quite a response from the crowd there. But anyway, not much I can say about the guy. I don't really know him that well in the ring, never seen a match of his, but he seems like a very genuine guy, and he announced that he'll be doing commentary from now on, which is really amazing to see that people can make that transition. And I hope he has a good transition. I hope, like some likes of Alex Riley, who's transitioned from wrestling to commentating, and sort of like JBL, the likes of those guys. They made a good transition, so I hope he sort of gets into it, and if he enjoys it, he can stick around for the next few NXTs, and hopefully be a regular on the show. Corey Graves, I quite enjoyed him on these few matches that he was on at Evolution Takeover. Anyway, that was a pre-show. The usual stuff you'll get in a pre-show. They've got the Raw one, they've got the pay-per-view one, and it was basically the same thing as that. I think there's a SmackDown pre-show as well, but it's all sort of on the network. So you're getting everything in this. And yeah, we got all the promos, and we got to see Corey Graves making a special announcement of his retirement and his joining of the commentary team. Anyway, we get on to the main show tonight. Our first match being with Kevin Owens. Now, this is the guy that I've talked about. I think I talked about it on my podcast as well. So you can just check that out, my first ever podcast. Kevin Owens, known as Kevin Steen in real life. That's his real name. Kevin Owens, what a guy. What pumped up to be. Sort of built up in the last few NXTs in a sort of promo-like fashion. But anyway, Kevin Owens making his way out to the ring. And who does he face? None other than the environmentalist heel, CJ Parker. I wasn't too excited, and CJ Parker, not a big fan of him in the ring work, but I think he's a great character, and I think that, let's see how this ends up. So I watched on, and I saw the match, and I can tell you that it was really, alright. So they battled in through it, a lovely few jumping out of the ring, cannonball from Kevin Owens onto CJ Parker. CJ Parker, a few close pins from him, I think. I thought it was quite, actually quite a close one in some ways, but again, we all know Kevin Owens is going to win somehow. Well, we all know Kevin Owens is going to make a clean win out of him because it's his first match. So yes, he got the clean win with a beautiful throw-up powerbomb really quickly, really smoothly, and it worked well, and I'm proud that he won that match. So Kevin Owens defeating CJ Parker in the first match. We move on to the second match. This time, in our second match, we get the Lucha Dragons taking on the Vaudevillains for the NXT Championship, currently held by the Lucha Dragons, before this match, obviously. So we began the match. Let's see. The Lucha Dragons looking pretty strong, and I thought they trained well for this because they were amazing. I have never seen such a tag team like this before. I mean, these remind me of the good old days with the tag teams that sort of work so well together, and I guess they're Lucha, so they've trained so hard to master all these moves that they can use together as a team, using the legs quite well there. The Vaudevillains, maybe not as impressive as I've seen them before, but it was a good turnout for them, especially for Simon Gotch. Simon Gotch is always quite good in the ring, and I like him very much. And he's got a great look, I thought. The likes of Roman Reigns and people like that have such a great look, and it reminds me of him because we get to see. Oh, sorry, I was going to say Roman Reigns. Was on the pre-show, and didn't really say anything. He did say something about something. Anyway, I can't remember. Well, he was talking about how he is the Slammy Award-winning champion. For Best Superstar of the Year, as you all know, but I guess you can check that out on the website or whatever. Roman Reigns making the announcement. But anyway, Simon Gotch, good luck, and Adrian Neville, as you can kind of imagine, they kind of work a bit dirty in the ring, and they like to sort of mess around outside with the Lucha Dragons. And at the start, it sort of seemed kind of even. The Vaudevillains do kind of have a slight advantage on their size over the Lucha Dragons, who we've got the little Kalisto, and then Sin Cara, who is he's towering over Kalisto, but he's small. So Kalisto is tiny, but he was the most impressive person in this match. Amazing. Kalisto got all those moves nailed down to a T. I mean, anytime you see any sort of tag in for him, he just fired up and was on all cylinders that night. All the moves you can expect from this sort of lucha style, everything you can imagine. I think he got the win. Lovely work here. Whatever you call it, I can't remember. It's the one where he just annihilates the opponents. Come on, I can't even describe it. But the way he works in the ring, it's really good. And Sin Cara worked alright with drop kicks and stuff like that. But anyway, so yeah, the Lucha Dragons defeating the Vaudevillains and defending their NXT Tag Team Championship. No surprises there, really. Well, I think in my predictions video I said the Vaudevillains could win, but it didn't look like it in this match that they would have much of an opportunity to get anything in there. Third match of the night, we'll go over to Finn Balor and Hideo Itami, this newly paired up team that I've been so raving about over the last couple of weeks, about how awesome they are and how much heat, how much crowd reaction they get. It's unbelievable. Both coming from the new Japan pro wrestling scene and making their way to WWE was such a good choice. And having them so close together, making their debuts in the same year, a few months after each other. So we had that whole storyline in one of the preempting pump-up videos. We had this whole storyline with Hideo Itami being brought in and William Regal so proud of him then, and how the Ascension newly losing their championships after that big gigantic reign they had. If you remember back to that time, I certainly can remember back to the NXT time when Ascension were just dominating the whole world of NXT. Anyway, after they lost their championships, they went on Hideo Itami, and he was their newest victim. And then we see the debut of Finn Balor, and they work amazing in their ring. If you watch my past couple of NXT reviews, I have covered all of Finn Balor's time in the WWE so far, because I started off before he actually came, and I heard this news a few months in advance. But Finn Balor came to the ring, and we got to see a beautiful team. So this one I was pretty excited for. Ascension, of course, if you didn't already know, what beasts they are in the ring. Work so well together. They're the famous tag team finishing maneuver, the Fall of Man. I didn't even realize this, but Victor is kind of sizably smaller than Connor, and Connor is actually I believe 300 pounds, and that's amazingly big. And he's just like, oh my god, Connor is a feat to... If you talk about people who are going to make it to WWE, you've got to talk about Connor, because Connor is... It's like Colin Cassidy, 7 foot tall. This guy's 300 pounds of pure meat, and you can see how much... but it sort of balances out because he's really tall and he's also pretty big. Anyway, let's get into the match. What can I say about this one rather than... Well, the Ascension, for one thing, worked quite dominantly early on. We see Finn Balor and Hideo Itami in a bit of a struggle, but again, I always see this. They're working this sort of Japanese slow style until they get the legs moving and they hit those kicks, and it's beautiful. And I noticed that Finn Balor is completely like Hideo Itami in so many ways. Anyway, we get into the match after several minutes of pure fighting. No real one I thought was going to be dominant in this one. Well, what do we see? We see Finn Balor hit that beautiful kick, and Hideo Itami go crazy in the ring, and it was such a good to see. As I said, I wanted to see him have his revenge, or avenge himself in the ring, and he did exactly that. Hideo Itami going mad on to Victor and Connor, and it was so beautiful to see. So, what do you see? Hideo Itami gets the win. Finn Balor, I think, gets the win, and they both hit the double foot stomp onto Victor and Connor, and Hideo Itami and Finn Balor win the match. Great match. Well, towards the end it got amazing, and that's sort of the bits that you remember with these matches, because they got a good memorable finish with the double foot stomp and that beautiful kick from Finn Balor, where he does that thing. Anyway, I don't really describe that, do I? So yeah, that's why I like this match. In the future, I hope to see these guys work together as a tag team again, and yeah, hopefully NXT Gold could be in the future. We never know. Tag Team Gold, or whatever gold they want. Next match was the NXT Women's Championship match. It was the Women's Champion Charlotte taking on the likes of Sasha Banks, the beautiful Sasha Banks. And well, what can I comment on this one? But we see early on Ric Flair hugging Charlotte before the match, and then we get to the match. Funny enough, Becky Lynch wasn't actually there with Sasha Banks before the match, but unusual enough. I mean, we see her over the past couple of weeks in NXT with Sasha Banks, and I guess Sasha Banks wanted to focus, and so Becky Lynch wasn't out there with her. But again, what I said, that Becky Lynch could be turning, so don't say I didn't already warn you that there might be a bit of split there. There will be. We know that for sure, but it might be sooner than you think. So Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. Charlotte looking really confident coming out to the ring. Sasha Banks not as confident even. I mean, the person glows with confidence, but Charlotte was up there with her on her level of confidence, and we began the match. Both people looking really strong in this one, and the crowd were really good. This is what I love about NXT. They have good women's championship matches, especially on the pay-per-view matches where they get to show off. I mean, beforehand, say on normal NXT, they only get like 5 to 7 minutes, and here we're getting like a good 15-minute strong match. So, beautiful holds in this one. The usual sort of weird slaps and stuff like that. And then we get to see Charlotte go in for that beautiful hold, leg hold on Sasha Banks. More wrestling involved there. Sasha Banks with wonderful holds as well of her own, really. And she showed up with Charlotte there. But to finish the match, we get to see Sasha Banks being pushed off the corner. Charlotte get to the top. Hold on to Sasha Banks and perform her perfect execution, whatever the move is called, where she got to the top. It's sort of, and then it's kind of weird. It's like a front flip net breaker, sort of really weird type of move. But she finished it off the corner, and oh my god, it was pretty intense and amazing. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. So, pretty amazing stuff. Charlotte defeating Sasha Banks in that position. So, yeah, with that perfect execution. So, wonderful on her behalf. Charlotte looking really strong, defending that and winning, keeping that women's championship. She looked really happy and confident, which is the most important thing. So, I'm pretty excited to see Charlotte again. And if they find the right person to face her, hopefully Natalya will come down and face her. And if that's what we're going to see, I mean, Natalya might be a bit busy, but I also have to comment that Charlotte did just make her debut on the main roster, and she made her debut on Raw, I think. So we get to see Charlotte do stuff like that, and it's really good for her to see her be put in a bit more limelight and be put on a spotlight for a bit, because she deserves it. She's definitely a good wrestler. So is the likes of Sasha Banks and Natalya and people like this that are sort of NXT based. Well, Natalya is sort of not really. I mean, I haven't seen Natalya wrestle on NXT ever, but she's definitely a main roster stayer. So there you go. That was the win. Now the main event. So yes, this is sort of what everyone's been waiting for. I mean, this has been so pumped up, and it definitely shows in the video we get, the preempting video, or pump up video as I call it, whatever you call it. I can't even remember the name of it. Anyway, so what a way to pump up for this one. We've seen interviews throughout the pay-per-view, and now we finally get to see the main video. Adrian Neville, the NXT champion, takes on Sami Zayn in a championship match. Remember the history between these two guys, but it's so interesting to see Sami Zayn, who he has such a big history. He has more of a history in NXT than anybody else. I mean, he's been up for the championship against Antonio Cesaro. Remember those famous world-class matches, top of the range, best matches in NXT ever. The Zayn versus Cesaro series of matches that they've had. And then we see Sami Zayn trying to win against Bo Dallas for the NXT Championship, which he loses. And then that fatal 4-way, which we saw Adrian Neville conquer using his sort of heelish ways to win the NXT Championship, which he's been holding for nearly 300 days. It's hard to imagine that fatal 4-way was so long ago. And Adrian Neville has just been dominant ever since. We remember back to the latest encounter where Adrian Neville defended his championship with a roll-up pin, pretending to be injured on Sami Zayn. I think that was 2 weeks ago or something like that. So that's our history, and it was a really helpful video. And yeah, this is the main event. So we begin the match. The usual sort of start for this long championship match. They start very slow and work their way around in that usual sort of grappling style of starting the match. I gotta point out that both men look pretty strong, and the commentators sort of talk about how Adrian Neville is like a small little ball of muscle, which is exactly how I would describe him. Oh my god, he's such an impressive looking person, but he's like quite small, and you can see the size difference. Sami Zayn, you hear the chants, the ole, 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 ole chants from the crowd. Sami Zayn looking quite good here with the catchy song that he has. So yeah, the usual grapple to start the match off. I was already excited for this one, of course, pumping us up, and then we get to see the trading back and forth action. So yeah, like here we are. Adrian Neville sort of starting off early with a little bit of dominance, but there was no real like outcrier who was above the other. They had some good holds, some good strong strikes, and then we get out of the ring and we get to see some outside action. Well, for like a bit, there was like a lot of in the NXT sort of style and fashion. We got to see lots of outside throws, not really outside action, but more people flying outside. And other than WWE, where they're just outside the ring, just fighting outside, which is sort of pointless. In this, it makes sense. They're being thrown out of the ring, and the other person gets a chance to do another move on them. The person who's thrown them can now think of something else to do. And this is such an NXT thing that's happening. Anyway, this happens quite a lot in this match. This match, by the way, went on for so long, like 30 minutes or something. Maybe it felt like that long. It was probably like 25 minutes or something, 20-25 minutes. Anyway, the crowd were so hyped up for this one. Actually, it probably was for like 30-35 minutes, I don't know. Anyway, whoa, so we get into the match. About 10 minutes in, I think, we get a lot of pin attempts starting off. So Sami Zayn went for one of these. Sorry, earlier than that, Adrian Neville probably attempted a good pin there. He also attempted a Red Hour, which was missed into knees from Sami Zayn, which is a good defense technique. And then we get to see Sami Zayn attempt one of these. This is about like 15-20 minutes into the match. We get to see Sami Zayn attempt a Helluva kick, getting Sami Zayn in the corner. He hits it, but he also hits the referee at the same time, which is really weird. Adrian Neville flying outside, sort of defending himself with his heelish tactic of not getting pinned because he can't get pinned now. But he didn't stay out for too long. But anyway, Sami Zayn was one of his middle of the match pin attempts. Later on in the match, everything heats up. About 3/4 of the way through, we can feel the speed picking up quite significantly. Even though there was a few like moments where you could feel pin attempts coming. Here it was like pin attempt, roll to roll ups from both sides, and Sami Zayn with a spectacular hold, which I don't even know what you call it, but if you go into the match and watch it, you'll see it, and it's quite memorable bit in the match. So that was such a wear down, but you could feel that Sami Zayn was being wear down quite equally, or even more. The way he was wear down was really big. as I said, Adrian Neville attempted Red Arrow, missed that. He also went for a beautiful thing where he went behind Sami Zayn, did sort of Hurricane Rana and hit his head, and that was such a big blow for Sami Zayn. And we could see pin coming after that, and we thought, it's over for Sami Zayn. But Adrian Neville didn't actually win there at that moment in time. It was just a very likely chance. Sami Zayn came back into the match with a good clothesline, and after this, it's sort of all square and all in the hands. Once we get another haluva kick from Sami Zayn, we can see he's getting his second win, and this is the second win that we've all wanted. The crowd are getting so happy now. But then we see the referee sort out Sami Zayn looking down at the NXT Championship and thinking, should he use it on Adrian Neville or not? Really, really tense moment, and it was a good moment in the match, sort of telling us a story of he's never really been a cheater and he doesn't do it now. So Sami Zayn doesn't take the championship, but in the end hits another haluva kick, reverses something else that Adrian Neville might do, and gets a sure pin. 1, 2, 3. My God, what a crowd here. They all cheer as Sami Zayn wins the NXT Championship for the first time. Can't even believe it. What a match. What a way to finish it off. Such a memorable finish there. The referee lines him up with the championship. It's official. He got so emotional in the ring there, crying, and the music playing over loud. What an emotional song for him, and what a sign of how much he's just done. And his road to redemption has officially ended, and he's officially become the champion. So he's now the dominant person, and what a guy to do it. Everybody was on their feet for this moment, and I was nearly in tears myself. No, probably wasn't, but you know, it was quite emotional. That's all I can say. So yeah, Sami Zayn winning the championship. All the locker room come out, and we get to see them cheer with him. Well, quite cool to see. Now that the whole locker room came out, holds the championship out, and we see the appearance of Kevin Owens. Good friends with Sami Zayn, as we've learned. They got a big hug out moment. It takes over a minute of them just standing there in the middle of the ring. Sami Zayn, such a good friends with Kevin Owens, I'm guessing. I don't really know about this, but I guess, yeah, they've had a good feud in the past in the independent scene, and it's pretty wonderful to see these guys together. And we could see good union coming up in NXT. And so, yeah, the crowd are alive with this, and I was so happy. Takes the championship, parades outside, parades around the ring, gets outside with Kevin Owens, and they both hobble off together into the sunset. Or so we thought. Yeah. We thought it was going to be a good night for Sami Zayn, didn't we? Anyway, so it was such a happy ending for Sami Zayn. But then Kevin Owens backlashes, picks up Sami Zayn, hits that powerful powerbomb onto the corner of the ring, and it's all over. Sami Zayn is down. William Regal comes out, stares over at Kevin Owens, calls the medic tags. Everyone's out here, with the crowd are alight with hatred. Kevin Owens walks up the ramp and leaves, and it's all over. That was it, guys. NXT Takeover or Revolution. My God, Kevin Owens turning on Sami Zayn the last minute. This is so after the card came up with the NXT 2014, it was so unexpected, and it was right 1 minute from the end. You could have turned off and you wouldn't have seen that. So really unexpected. And Sami Zayn, to comment on him, what a wonderful time he's had in NXT so far, and Kevin Owens just coming in straight away, making his debut tonight, and the way he's moved so fast in, I knew there was going to be something up. I mean, the way they pumped him up, not just to have one match on the show, but to have this moment, they really unexpected at the same time. I thought he was going to have something special to do, Kevin Owens, on the pay-per-view, but I didn't think it was going to be this special, about going straight for the champion. I mean, this is something you never expect him to do. You expect him to work up slowly, or maybe face and get become tag team champion or something like that, or face a few other opponents, middle cards, Tyler Breeze or something like that. But here he is, straight away, goes for Sami Zayn. He's his eyes on the prize. You can see, sacrifices his friendship. I feel so bad for Sami Zayn in this situation. Of course, Kevin Owens doesn't even care. Walks away. He looks like he made a mistake. I could see it in his eyes that he wasn't showing any emotion right now, and he's probably gonna have to make a sorry notice on next NXT. But anyway, I don't know what's going on, how this feud's gonna happen, the sort of the application this will have on the future of NXT. Attacking the champion, not a good choice, man. But it's gonna make for an interesting feud. And also, just a little notice there. We see Adrian Neville, who lost the championship, hug Sami Zayn, so they might have a bit of an alliance there formed. So we've already gone from two people who fought each other. Adrian Neville has always stuck by Sami Zayn's side. Every time he's faced him, he's respected him. I mean, he said that Sami Zayn's been the best wrestler he knows, and yeah, Adrian Neville remaining that guy that people don't really like, but he's never done anything wrong. So he's been a cheating guy in the ring, but outside the ring, he's completely fine with Sami Zayn being champion, I guess. So very unexpected there on the end of NXT Takeover or Revelation, but in full, what a great pay-per-view it's been. I'm happy to watch NXT and see all the superstars and how much an impact this has on all of WWE in the future. It's something that this pay-per-view made me rethink how amazingly these people could do full-length matches. They can make it interesting, and there's no doubt in my mind that these people would have a great pay-per-view match on the main pay-per-views. It's just a matter of time to see what happens and how it forms. So, in all, we see Kevin Owens defeat CJ Parker. We see the Lucha Dragons defend their NXT Tag Team Championship against the Vaudevillains. We see Hideo Itami and Finn Balor defeat the Ascension. We see Charlotte defend her Women's Championship and defeat Sasha Banks. And then we see Sami Zayn defeat the NXT champion Adrian Neville and become the new NXT champion. And of course we see the bit at the end with Kevin Owens backlashing on Sami Zayn. So guys, that's been it for me. 5-star matches, 5-star main event, and 5-star pay-per-view. NXT Takeover or Revolution, it is the evolution of NXT for me, in my mind, and there's no turning back. Go NXT, and please make every match as good as the matches that were on this show. And I'm so excited for the next pay-per-view to come up. And obviously, I'm going to be still making NXT reviews every week, back next week, and I'll see you guys next week with another NXT review. And you can also check out my other videos, for everything else that I'm doing. All the series reviews, my podcast, which, oh my god, I'm so excited for the next one. It's going to be coming out sooner than you think, guys. My next TV Hope Division 1 podcast, which first you can check out my channel. My Christmas announcement I made on how future videos are going to be formed. Podcasts don't really have a routine, but anyway, sorry guys to barge on this Revelation review. It's maybe an Revelation review, not my podcast. So that's it, been it for me guys. Don't forget to favorite, like, comment below, share with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe. Press that button down below. You know what to do. Thanks guys for watching. Enjoy.